Hello everybody and welcome into the RNGIDP channel. It's me, Greg, and I am here with you for another Game Day 16 broadcast of the 2015 RNL. Thank you for being with me here on the channel. Thank you for being a part of this series. I'm happy that you're here and happy that you've taken an interest into my channel and into this silly season that I have put together. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you for being here. What I do here is I've taken the 2015 Strat-O-Matic baseball set, randomized it, put all new players on all new teams, and I've set up a league, 2 leagues actually, 15 teams in each league. The top 2 teams in each league will face each other in a championship series to determine who is the champion of the RNL. Right now, coming into this game day 16, that would have been Pittsburgh in Texas. And we have seen all the KL games previously. The last game that we played was Milwaukee and New York. And so the KL has wrapped up for game day 16. So today we start the first game of the AL for game day 16. There will be 30 game days in this series, 28 games for each team. And so we are over the halfway point and looking to get forward and make some more progress tonight as we see the Boston Soul Rocks at 9-5 traveling to Toronto to take on the 8-6 Toronto Swablu. Boston has been handling business. They've scored 89 runs. That is by far better than any team in any league. They are the #1 run-scoring team. They score in bunches. And they have given up a lot of runs as well. That's 61 runs that they've given up, which is middle of the pack in the AL. Their run differential, which is the second tiebreaker, is +28. They sit in second place in the AL behind Texas. They're a game back of Texas, who are at 10-4. So they're looking to make some ground up, and they'll face Toronto, who's 8-6. Toronto scored 67 runs, given up 53. That's a +14 differential, and they sit 2 games back of Texas. So with a Toronto win and a Boston loss, the thing could get all messy. Sandwiched in between them at third place is Seattle at 9-5 as well. So it could be messy at the top. Good thing we still have a long way to go in this series to sort it all out. Boston, in their last game, they dropped a close one in Baltimore, 4-3. Boston has lost 2 in a row. Toronto was blanked by Cleveland in Cleveland, 5-0. So both these teams looking to get back in the win column, and this is how it will shake out. Gio Gonzalez is the pitcher for Toronto, the left-hander strikeout artist. Gonzalez has a 1-1 record. He's had 1 good start, 1 bad start. One of them he got chased, giving up a bunch of runs. So in 13 2/3 innings, he's given up 15 hits and 10 earned runs. He does have 11 strikeouts, but listen to this. He's got 11 walks. Not so good as far as keeping the ball over the plate. That's over a 6 ERA. And this will be the lineup that will face Toronto's Gio Gonzalez. Boston brings their high-powered offense into this one. And here is what we will see from them. Boston is without their right fielder. That's Paulo Orlando. He won't be seeing time today. He's injured for another few games. So we'll see his replacement later on. Dexter Fowler leads off as usual. Fowler's hitting .368 with 2 doubles, 2 triples, 3 homers, and 8 RBI. Jose Altuve is in the 2 spot. Second baseman is hitting .320 with 5 doubles and 4 home runs. He leads the team with 14 runs batted in. Joe Panik is the DH. Yes, Joe Panik DH. He's hitting third. Panik is hitting .385 right now with 6 doubles, 3 triples, and a homer. Behind him in the cleanup spot is Chris Davis, the first baseman. Davis, after hearing all those 300 batting averages, well, he's hitting .172. He does have 3 home runs and 7 RBI, but 22 strikeouts for Chris Davis. David Wright is the third baseman. David Wright is 11 for 24. He keeps getting to the bench, but then when he gets back on the field, he's just hitting like crazy. So he's back in there starting. It doesn't help that he's the regular third baseman and he's only hitting 178. So David Wright is back in there today. Aaron Alther is the right fielder in place of Paulo Orlando. Alther is 1 for 6 in his at-bats, and that one hit was a double. Cameron Rupp is the catcher today. Boston has a slew of catchers, and today it'll be the righty, Cameron Rupp. He's 10 for 30 with 3 doubles, 2 triples, and 2 homers. Colby Rasmus is struggling at the plate, and he's moved all the way down to the 8th spot. Colby Rasmus is hitting .245 with 6 extra base hits, though, out of his 13 hits. Jordy Mercer is the shortstop, and Jordy Mercer is, let me see his numbers. It is not good. Mercer is 6 for 29 with all singles being his hits. All right, so I think we're about ready. The final pitch has been thrown, the warm-up pitch, and Gio Gonzalez is ready, and he will face Dexter Fowler tonight as Ken Castro checks in, saying, nice matchup tonight. Ken, I think so. This should be a good one. I'm looking forward to it. Gio Gonzalez, 2 lefties on the mound. It's Gonzalez versus John Lester for Boston. And Gonzalez gets the first chance here, and it will be against the switch hitter, Dexter Fowler, who steps in from the right-hand side, and he lifts one out to left field, a lazy fly ball for Brandon Geyer. And he will make the catch, and we're underway here from Toronto. A nice, clear day in Toronto, just getting started in the AL for game day 16. Jose Altuve now, and this is a 1-4. And a 1-4 is Altuve jumps on that pitch on the outside part of the plate. And that is at the wall. It's going to roll around, and Altuve has a 1-out triple. So Altuve splits the defense with a ball hit out to the wall deep. And he's able to use his little legs and scurry all the way to third. So now Joe Panik is aboard, is up to the plate, with a man on third. The infield's going to come in, lefty on lefty here. Gonzalez could use a strikeout. The DH Panik is in a tight spot here. Look to drive in a run. It's a 1-2 chance, and that's going to be a ground ball first base B. With the infield in, the runner on third breaks for home, but the first baseman, Pujols, he makes the smart play and goes home. And they're going to catch Altuve at the plate. And a base running mistake by Altuve. Maybe it was a hit and run, maybe. But Panik can't get it out of the infield. And they catch Altuve at the plate on a 3-2. And that'll be the second out of the ball game. Panik is going to make it to first. But, boy, a 1-out triple, and he is erased at the plate. Albert Pujols made a nice throw, and the catcher, Cervelli, was able to make the tag before Altuve slid underneath him. So now there's 2 outs. Panik is at first. And Chris Davis is at the plate. It's a 6-7, and that'll be a single, so the run would have scored. Panik is going to move to second. He's already made 1 error. He's not going to try and advance another base here. So it'll be David Wright now with runners on first and second. Gonzalez got out of trouble once, and he's back in trouble again here. David Wright at the plate. It's a 3-5, and that's going to be a single up the middle. Panik will round third, and he'll score. An RBI single for David Wright, and it's no wonder he keeps getting put in the lineup as he's got the right stuff right now and drives in a run. Davis, with 2 outs, was off with the pitch, so he'll make it to third. And Boston jumps out to an early lead. It's 1-0 here in the top of the first. Gio Gonzalez still in trouble. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. And now Aaron Alter with Gonzalez struggling here. And Alter gets hit by a pitch. And that'll load the bases. Wright will move to second. Davis at third. Wright at second. Alter now at first on the hit by a pitch. And Cameron Rupp is the catcher, and he is up here in the first inning, the 7th man to come to the plate. The catcher, Cervelli, goes out and chats with Gio Gonzalez. It was his last outing where Gio got tanked in the first few innings and got pulled early. Looking to erase that memory here as he's given up 1 already. It could be a lot more if Rupp can hit 1 here. Cervelli makes his way back behind the plate. Gonzalez takes the mound. He's ready. And the pitch. It's a 2-9. And Rupp strikes out on a nasty pitch that was down in the dirt. And Rupp just swung right over the top of it. And that'll be the first strikeout for Gonzalez. And he gets himself out of the inning with only giving up 1 run. But David Wright drives in a run. That's Joe Panic from second. And Boston jumps out to the early lead. It's 1-0 as we move to the bottom of the first. And we'll take a look at John Lester. Lester for Boston. He is tied for the league lead with 3 wins. He's 3-0 on the season. He has pitched in 20 2/3 innings. He's given up 24 hits, 7 earned runs. He's struck out 20 and only walked 6. That equates to a 3.06 ERA and a whip of just about a 1.5. So this will be the lineup that faces him for Toronto. Toronto will slouch when it comes to scoring runs, and this is how they will line up today. A regular lineup, no injury. Toronto. So no excuses for them today. And it'll be Cameron Maben to lead off. He is Cameron Maben is hitting .230 from the leadoff spot with 2 doubles, 2 homers, and 4 RBI. Robinson Cano, don't you know, is batting second. He's hitting .367 with 7 doubles. He's yet to hit a home run yet, but he does have 11 RBI. Todd Frazier is the third baseman. Frazier's just a tick under the Mendoza line at 196. He's got 3 doubles and 4 homers, though, and he's also got 11 RBI. Albert Pujols is the cleanup man. He's at 3 doubles, and team lead with 6 homers and 12 driven in. Eric Ibar is the story, though. He's hitting .455 on the season. Yes, he is the league leader in batting average at .455. Eric Ibar cleaning up here. He's got 4 doubles, a triple, and a homer. Only 4 driven in, though. Jonathan Scope is the second baseman. He is in the 6th spot in the lineup. Scope is at 136. So you've got Ibar at .455, and then the next guy at 136. He does have 3 doubles in his 6 hits, though. Brandon Geyer is the left fielder and batting 7th. Geyer is .238 right now with 2 doubles and a homer. Francisco Cervelli, the catcher, has been hitting pretty well. He's 13 for 37 with 2 doubles and 8 driven in. Michael Taylor rounds out the lineup. He's in the 9th spot. Taylor is .327 right now. 4 doubles, a triple, and a homer. Not bad for the number 9 man there. And so I think we're ready. We are in a 1-0 ball game. Boston has already jumped out to the lead, and John Lester comes out to the mound with a early lead against Toronto. So Cameron is the batter against the lefty, and he swings and misses. That'll be the first strikeout on the first batter of the bottom of the first. 1 away. Hope everybody's having a good night tonight. I'm getting a little later start than usual. I was playing a board game with my son, and wouldn't you know it, that little ingrate, he beat me. And here's Robinson Cano. This is a 2-9. A 2-9 is going to be a little bouncer over to Chris Davis at first, and he'll pick it up and toss it over to Lester for the second out. So it'll be Todd Frazier. Nobody aboard here. 2 outs quickly. And Lester faces Frazier. It's a 2-6. A 2-6 is going to be a bouncer to Mercer at short. He takes it on one hop and throws a strong throw over to the first. And we are through the first. It's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Lester as Boston leads here through. It's a 1-0 ball game. Toronto will send Gio Gonzalez back to the hill. He'll face the 8-9-1 batters of Colby Rasmus, Jordy Mercer, and then Dexter Fowler for the second time. Gonzalez looking to bounce back after a tough first inning. He gave up 3 hits in that inning. 1 run scored though. And Colby Rasmus, he'll bounce one to first. Albert Pujols is there. Pujols, he'll step on the bag, and there's one away. Now it's Jordy Mercer. The first inning could have been worse. If you remember, Altuve got thrown out at the plate by Pujols. And then Cervelli made the tag. Gonzalez to Mercer, and this is a first base X chance. So speaking of Pujols, he's going to have to make a play here. He's a 2-range first baseman. A 2-3 is just going to make the play. He gets down, gets his big body on it, smothers it, and is going to have to make a throw from the ground, and he will do so over to Gonzalez, and that will be the second out, just in time to get Mercer at first. So a nice play there from Pujols, just kind of landed on the ball, more or less, and is able to smother it and make the throw. Gonzalez now to Dexter Fowler, who's 0 for 1. Dexter from the right-hand side, and that'll be a ballpark single chance, which here in Toronto is a 1-5. And that's a 3, so Fowler with a seeing eye single with 2 outs here. And so Fowler is aboard. DeCubs to Bears is here. Welcome, DeCubs to Bears. Happy that you're here tonight. We've got a good matchup, Boston against Toronto. And Dexter Fowler is aboard at first. He's an A stealer. Cervelli is a +1 arm. So they are going to hold Dexter. That'll bring him from a 1-15 down to a 1-13. But a +1 brings him back up to a 1-14. He's not going. Jose Altuve has already tripled today. And Altuve sees the pitch. It's a 6-8. That's a ground ball, second base X. So it's to Jonathan Schoop. Will he be able to get his pitcher out of the inning? Schoop is a 2-range second baseman. A 2-14. It's a ground ball C, so Schoop has to go deep up the middle. He makes the snag, and he has to make a strong throw to first to get Altuve, and he will do it. Schoop flashing the leather, and Altuve is out at first, and Gio Gonzalez makes it out of the second inning unscathed after a 2-out hit from Dexter Fowler. John Lester now comes back out, and he'll face Pujols, Ibar, and Schoop. Ken Castro's heading to the airport soon. Are you leaving tonight, Ken? Lester, 1-2-3, the bottom of the first. And this is a 4-9. And it'll be a 1-9 chance for a single. That's an 18. So Pujols hits one to right at third, and Wright gobbles it up. And we'll have plenty of time to make the throw to the first. And there's one away. Ibar now, and his gaudy .455 batting average steps into the plate. He'll step in from the right-hand side, the switch hitter. And it's a 6-6. And a 6-6 is going to be a little fly ball out to left. That'll be no problem for Colby Rasmus and his wispy beard. And it will be the second out. The 5 a.m. flight, huh? How's the weather going to impact that? Are you able to drive down to Boston? Seems like they're getting hit hard. Jonathan Scope, 2 outs now, and Lester here. This is a 4-9, and that's back to that 1-9 single chance. And Scope, he's not going to get past a diving David Wright. Wright making a good play there, and he will pop up like he's 25 again and make the throw across the diamond. And there is 2 away. Or excuse me, 3 away. That's the inning. And we move to the top of the third. Boston continues with a 1-0 lead. A battle of heavyweights here in the AL. And they're throwing jabs, figuring it out, trying to see who's going to break first. Boston leads 1-0. Gio Gonzalez now, he's back out for his 3rd inning of work. And he'll face Panic, Davis, and Wright. This is a 5-6. And Panic, he's able to get a single. So Panic continues to hit from that DH spot. He's kind of an unconventional DH. A little guy, a second baseman playing DH. But he's not going to play ahead of Altuve really ever. And so he's the DH, and he just keeps continuing to hit. And he went lefty on lefty there and got a base hit. And now to be Chris Davis. It's a 2-7, and Davis patient with it, and he draws a walk. Patient and Davis are not something you usually put together. But Chris Davis draws the walk. And there's 2 aboard with nobody out. And Gio Gonzalez is burying himself again here. Ken says, yes, clear sailing on major highways to Beantown. Well, that's good. Good luck to you. Hopefully it's smooth sailing. David Wright, he's got 2 on with nobody out here. And it's a 4-8. And David Wright gets caught looking on a pitch on the inside part of the plate. Gonzalez helps himself big time. That's his 2nd strikeout and the 1st out of the inning here in the top of the 3rd. Aaron Alter, he was hit by a pitch in the 1st inning, stayed in there. And here he has 2 on with 1 out. And, ooh, this is going to be trouble. It's a double out to left field. And that'll drive in a run as Joe Panic will score from second. That's the 2nd time he's scored a run today. And the first base will be David Wright, and he's going to just stay at 3rd. Not a great runner as Chris Davis. But it's an RBI double from Aaron Alter in the place of Paulo Orlando. And it's a 2-0 ball game for Boston. The Cubs, the Bears. Anyone who travels to Oklahoma to roll dice with middle-aged men for a weekend is dedicated. Maybe too dedicated. Maybe medicated too, is what he said. Oh, man. Thank you to Cubs, the Bears. I think most of our spouses, as Ken says, would probably feel the same way, that we are a little off. Cameron Rupp now with runners at 2nd and 3rd. Gio Gonzalez is struggling here again big time. 1 out. And are they going to have to bring the infield in again? Yeah, they're going to bring the infield in against Cameron Rupp. And it's a 6-8. A 6-8 is going to be a ground ball, second base X. The second baseman is Scope. And he's a 2-range second baseman. A 2-18 is going to be a ground ball A. So A on the infield in chart is the runner on 3rd is going to hold. And Cameron Rupp hits one to Scope too hard. And Scope will look back Davis to the bag. He wasn't going anywhere anyway. And Rupp will be erased at first. So 2 down now. And it will be up to Colby Rasmus to drive in some extra runs here. And Rasmus, infield is back in their normal positions. It's a 2-5. That's got a chance to be a single. A 1-7, and Rasmus will bring home another run. It's a 1. So Rasmus loops one out to center field. That's going to score a run. Davis was off with the pitch with 2 outs. And Colby Rasmus drives in the 3rd run here for Boston. And they are just relentless. Alter is going to move to 3rd. And the hits keep coming for Boston as they lead 3-0 against Toronto here in the top of the 3rd. Gio just trying to make it out of the inning. This may be his last man here. It's Jordy Mercer. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Runners on the corners. Gio struggling again. It's a 5-9, and he gets Mercer mercifully to strike out. 3 strikeouts now for Gonzalez, but who knows how long he's in for this game. It's not looking good for him as he's given up 3 here through the top of the 1st. John Lester has been pitching pretty well. He's 6 up, 6 down so far, and he'll face the bottom 3 of Geyer, Cervelli, and Taylor. Lester, and it's a 6-12. It's a 6-12. That's a ground ball pitcher X. I had to double check to make sure Geyer wasn't the DH there, but Lester is a 5-range pitcher. A 5-3, and it's going to eat Lester up. It gets through him. He put a valiant effort down to put the glove down, but it just ate him up. Kicked off his glove into no man's land, and Geyer is aboard with an infield single. So that'll be the first hit given up against Lester. Brandon Geyer will take a big, big lead. As we know, Lester has his problems throwing to first, so he's going to take a big-time lead. They're going to have to hold him for whatever that's worth. And Cameron Rupp is a -2 arm. Geyer is a B stealer. A B would be a 1-10 with him being held, a -2 for the arm, so it's a 1-8. So Geyer's thinking about it, stretching that lead out, but he's not going anywhere. Cervelli is the man at the plate. Cervelli, that's a 5-9, a 5-9. Oh, Cervelli puts a charge into this one. Is it going to be enough? Out to center field. It's a 1-6 normal home run. Cervelli's got some pop in that bat. And it's a double out to center field. So will Geyer get the sign to come around? It's a double, so he's at 3rd looking to the base coach. And let's stat this out to see. Geyer is a 1-15 runner. Center fielder is Dexter Fowler, who doesn't have a great arm. It's a 0. He's got an average arm. So 15. They were holding him, so a 15-14. It'd be a 1-14 that he could score here. And he's going to take it. So Brandon Geyer. And it's a 1-14, and it's a 17. So Fowler gets his man at home. Brandon Geyer gunned out from center field. And that is first out. What a play. Dexter Fowler gets to the ball quickly. Cervelli thought he had himself an RBI, but the defense behind Lester saving a run. And there's one away. Ken Castro says his next weekend to play cards with old guys might be in Colorado. Well, that would be awesome because I will be there. Yes. I'm old, Ken. Don't worry about it. I may not sound old, but I am for sure. Yeah, I'm going to go to the PlayCon. You know what? You reminded me, and I'm going to write that down right now because I need to put my registration in. So I'm going to write that down right now on my whiteboard so that as soon as this game is over and I do the stats, I'm going to put my registration in. So thank you for that. So Michael Taylor with a runner at second. That's Cervelli. And this is a 1-2. And that's going to be hit back to Lester. Lester is going to look back at Cervelli at second, who's not going anywhere. And Taylor is going to be out at first. So Lester, that awkward throw to first, but he makes it. And there is 2 away now. So it'll be up to Cameron Maben to get that run home from second. Maben, 3-5. A 3-5. It's got a chance here. It's a 1-5 single. And get this in the box. So 1-5. It's a 4, so that's a single, but it's a 1 star. So Cervelli, that ball didn't go deep enough out into the outfield. And Cervelli's not a great runner, so he's going to have to stop at third. But Maben moves the line, and it'll be Robbie Cano. The tying run is at the plate in Robbie Cano. He's 0 for 1 on the day. And lefty on lefty here, Lester. It's a 3-7. And that's going to be a single. That's going to drive home Cervelli from third. Maben on his horse, he'll make it to third. And it's a 3-1 ball game as Robbie Cano has an RBI single here in the bottom of the third. So Cervelli scores. He's doubled, moved to third on Michael Taylor. No, excuse me, on Cameron Maben's single, and he scores. It's 3-1. So Todd Frazier with runners at the corners. 2 outs here. Lester finally starting to show some tarnish. And it's a 2-6. And this one is going to get him out of it. This one's hit to the shortstop Mercer. Mercer's got a nice gun at first, and a nice gun at short, and he will put it to first. And that'll be the 3rd out. But Toronto keeps themselves alive, and they scratch across a run as it is now a 3-1 ball game as we move to the top of the 4th. Boston didn't think they were going to get out of here that easily. Toronto is going to make a fight out of it. Toronto's in 4th place for a reason, only 1 game behind behind Boston. And Gonzalez will continue. This is a right field chance. The right fielder is Taylor, as Dexter Fowler hits one in the air to Michael Taylor, who is a 2 range, so a 217. And Michael Taylor, with his good wheels, is going to track that one down. And Dexter Fowler has been retired for the 2nd time tonight. That's the 1st out of the 4th inning. Jose Altuve is 1 for 2. He's got a triple. And that's a 210. A 210 is a ballpark single chance. A 1-5, and that's a single. And it's just caught by the shortstop. That was going over his head, and he climbed the ladder to make the catch. And there's 2 away. So Gonzalez, maybe he's settling in here a little bit. 2 quick outs. And now it'll be Joe Panik, who's scored 2 runs tonight. It's a 2-7, and he gets Panik to look at a pitch down in the strike zone, and that's called a strike 3. That'll do it here in the top of the 4th. The 3rd strikeout for Gio, as it's a 1-2-3 inning, the first one for Gonzalez through the first 4 innings. So Lester, after giving up a few hits and a run his last half inning, he'll make his way back out there. It'll be Pujols, Ibar, and Scope. 0 for 3 for those guys at the plate so far. It's a 6-7. This is a second base X chance, which is Jose Altuve. Altuve is, what is he? He is a 2 range. A 2-18 is going to be a good play. Altuve, he makes the play, range to his left, and Albert Pujols will be the first out here. As we are underway in the bottom of the 4th, 3-1 ball game. Boston in control here. Ibar, his average has dropped a little bit with the 0-for-1 start, and it's going to drop even further as this one is dribbled out to third base. David Wright charges on it, and he makes the scoop and the throw in one motion, and that'll be the second out. So now it's Scope, 2 quick outs here, and it's a 5-6. A 5-6 is a strikeout looking right down the middle, and it froze Scope and locked him up. That's only the second strikeout on the day for Lester, and he answers back with a 1-2-3 inning of his own. And we are through 4 here. It's a 3-1 ball game. Boston continues to lead the way. Gio Gonzalez makes his way back out there. He'll face Chris Davis, David Wright, and Aaron Alter. Davis has been on base twice. He scored once. He drew a walk his last time. And he's going to hit one high up into the sky out to left field. Brandon Geyer is going to have to try and make a play. He's a left field 2, a 2.8, and that's going to go to his E rating, which is a E2, and we rolled a 5. And so it gets lost in the lights, or in the sun, but somehow right at the last minute he's able to pick it up, and he makes a nice catch. And so Davis is retired. 1 away here in the top of the 5th. Hello, Mike from SNFS. We've got David Wright up to the plate. He's 1 for 2. 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Boston leads 3-1 against Toronto in battle of top of the AL standing leaders here. This is David Wright. It's a 10. That's a ballpark single chance. A 1-5, and it'll be a single. Nope, not this time. The shortstop, that's Eric Ibar. He makes another nice play, and he will snag this one out of the air, and there's 2 away. Got a nice crowd here tonight. Thank you guys for joining me here. Appreciate you being in the chat, and appreciate you guys watching after the fact. You guys are great too. Aaron Alter, he's 1 for 1. He's got a double, and he also got plunked by a pitch. There's 2 away here. And a 1-6, and he swings and misses, and he strikes out. Gio Gonzalez now has retired 7 in a row. Raise your hand if you had that, considering the start he had. And we move to the bottom of the 5th. Toronto gets their licks as they are trailing 3-1. So Lester is retired 4 straight, and he'll face the bottom of the order here: Geyer, Cervelli, and Taylor, excuse me. And this is a 2-11. That's going to be a ballpark single chance for Brandon Geyer. It's a 1-14 in Toronto, and Geyer muscles it up and gets it over to the wall. That is a home run. Brandon Geyer to lead off the bottom of the 5th. And he cuts that lead by 1 more run, a solo shot. And Geyer didn't see that coming from him. He muscled that one up and out of here, over the wall. So Lester, surprised as we all are at the power from Geyer. And now he'll face Cervelli, who's doubled and scored. It's a 5-3. This is a bouncer to first base. Will Chris Davis be able to make the play at first? He's a 2-range first baseman. A 211 is going to his E rating, which is a 5. And we rolled a 5, so it's a 5-5, which Davis is able to stretch and make the play. He smothers it, and he will throw it over to Lester. And there will be one away. So a leadoff home run, and then Cervelli grounds out to Davis at first. And now it'll be Michael Taylor, who is 0 for 1. This is a 4-7. A 4-7. Michael Taylor gets caught looking on a pitch on the inside part of the plate. Doesn't like the call, but he doesn't argue it as he just walks back to the dugout. And there's 2 outs. Cameron Maben singled his last time up. That was back in the 3rd inning. He's 1 for 2. He's also struck out. It's a 6-6. And that one is going to be lifted out to left field. Colby Rasmus, he's got no problem making that catch. And that'll be the 3rd out here. And Toronto grabs another one back. They're nickel and diming their way back into this. It's a 3-2 ball game. Boston leads as we move to the top of the 6th. Gonzalez is going to get his way back out there. He's facing the 7, 8, 9 batters of Rupp, Rasmus, and Mercer. So he'll make his way back out to pitch. Not sure how short a leash he'll have. We'll see. This is a 4-7 against Cameron Rupp, and that's going to be a strikeout. Caught looking on a pitch on the inside part of the plate. And there's one away. So Gonzalez, since giving up a single to Rasmus, who is at bat right now, back in the 3rd inning, since then he's retired 8 straight. So Rasmus here, he's 1 for 2. That single was an RBI single for Rasmus. And it's a 1-8, and he swings and misses. That's 3 in a row sat down via the K for Gio Gonzalez. And now he's figured it out a little bit. That's 9 in a row. It'll be Jordy Mercer. A 1-9. And he strikes out. So strikes out the side does Gio Gonzalez. And that's 4 strikeouts in a row. And now he's just on a roll as Gonzalez hanging on here. Boston hanging on to the lead. It's 3-2. Lester now comes back out trying to match pitch for pitch with Gio Gonzalez. Lester's clinging to a one-run lead now thanks to the Geyer home run last inning. This is a 4-11 to Robinson Cano. That's hit back to the pitcher. Lester's a 5-range pitcher. A 520, that's going to be a single as that one eats up Lester. We know Lester's got the yips throwing it, but he's got the yips fielding it today as well. And that one eats him up as well, and that'll be a single for Bobby Cano, his 2nd hit of the day. So now Todd Frazier. Frazier's 0 for 2, and he's struggling right now. He grounded out to shortstop both times he has been up to the plate. Cano is not a good stealer. He's a D stealer. Frazier's not a great hit and runner either. So they just got to hope for a 3 column here. They don't get it. It's a 6-11. That's a fly ball out to right field. So he lifts it out into the outfield. That's going to be Aaron Alter with his first chance to make a play. Alter is a 2-range right fielder, a 2-6, and that's a fly ball B. So Alter gets to it, and he'll keep Cano right there at first base. That'll be one away. So it'll be up to Albert Pujols. Pujols is a B hit and runner. Against the lefty, maybe we would do that to try and stay out of the double play. He's got a lot of double plays here. With the hot hitter and Eric Ibar at the plate, I think they are going to hit and run with Pujols to try and stay out of the double play. So They are hold. No, they're not going to hold Cano. So it's just a B hit and run. Cano takes off. Pujols puts it in play. He's a B7. Oh, no. He doesn't put it in play. Batter misses pitch. Oh, no. Cano might be out to dry here. Batter misses pitch. And we're going to have to see about his stealing rating now. He's a D stealer. Oh, no. This is the chance you take with a hit and run, and it comes up a lot. So D stealer is a 1 to 9. The good thing is they weren't holding him. Cameron Rupp is a -2. So Cano is going to have to roll a 1 to 7 to get to steal this base. A 1 to 7. And Cano is in there. This is a 19, so Cano is out by a mile as Albert Pujols hangs him out to dry on a hit and run, and Cano is caught stealing for the second out. That is a caught stealing while Pujols was up to the plate. So Pujols now with the bases clear. Mike McAllister checking in. How you doing, Mike? It's a 1-7, and this is a single chance, a 1 to 5. It is a 5, so Pujols. Oh, man. The hit and run didn't work out, but Pujols is aboard. And that'll be Eric Ibar. A wacky inning so far here in the bottom of the 6th. And Eric Ibar, with his .450 batting average, will face the lefty, John Lester. It's a 1-8, and Ibar is going to get a hit here. A 1 to 16, it's a double, and he hits one out to center field in the gap, and that will be a double. Shouldn't have sent Cano, as that would have scored a run. Pujols makes his way to third on the double from Ibar. And there is runners on second and third, and it'll be Jonathan Schoop. Lester giving up some hits here, but he is yet to give up the lead. It's 3-2. Runners at second and third, and Jonathan Schoop at the plate. Mike McAllister's got a cold, and Jonathan Schoop is his cold. He's 0 for 2 today. Which one will break first? We'll see. Schoop sees the pitch. It's a 3-4, and he gets hit by it. So Schoop leaning out on the plate. He didn't want to have to be the man with the bat in his hand. And he gets hit, and that'll load him. That'll load these bases, and it'll be Brandon Guyer. Yep, Brandon Guyer, who just hit a home run his last time up. He's 2 for 2 in the day against Lester. 2 for 2 with a single and a homer. And here he is with the bases loaded. 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th. Lester battling here, trying to get out of it. Guyer, they're going to let him hit against Lester. It's a 1-10, a 1-10, and he gets hit by the pitch. So Lester gone wild all of a sudden. And he hits Brandon Guyer, and that'll drive in the run. Pujols will trot home from third. Brandon Guyer with the hit by a pitch to drive in a run. And correct me if I'm wrong, I'm going to give him an RBI for that. I think you get one when you wear one. At least you should anyway, and you're going to get one here from me. So the bases are loaded. Again, it's a ball game. Lester's given up the lead. And now we've got Cervelli at the plate here in the bottom of the 6th. Toronto has scored in the 3rd, 5th, and 6th to tie this thing up. And they're going to let Lester try and get Cervelli here. There's 2 outs, just trying to get him out of the inning. It's a 1. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's a single. Cervelli pulls that one back right up the middle. That's going to score 2 runs. Ibar scores. Schoop scores. Guyer is on his way to third. And Cervelli comes up big with a 2 RBI single here on the bottom of the 6th. And Toronto grabs the lead. And the second guessers have have your fare. They should have pulled John Lester, as he's given up 2 runs here in the bottom of the 6th. And now it'll be Michael Taylor. So let's take a look at Boston's bullpen. Well, there's a reason why I didn't pull Lester. Their bullpen is not great. I remember that now, and when I looked before the game, I remember telling myself, you got to let the Boston starters go deep, because look at their bullpen. You've got Bo Schultz and Chaz Rowe from the right-hand side as your middle relievers. Matt Andriese and Michael Lorenzen are your long relievers from the right-hand side. And then you've got lefty in Marksbury, Justin Wilson, and Thompson. And your closer is Jared Jeffress. So not great from the bullpen. And runners at first and third. You got to get Lester, right? So we're going to get Lester, and we'll go get Matt Andriese. So Lester comes off here in the bottom of the 6th, and he will face Michael Taylor with 2 outs. Lester is not going to get that 4th win tonight. Yes, he goes 5 2/3. He gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits. He struck out a total of 3 batters. And he walked nobody. Did hit a couple, but he didn't walk anybody. So it'll be the righty, Matt Andriese, who comes in here. And he will face Michael Taylor. 2 outs, runners on first and third. Andriese face Taylor. This should be a good one, as Toronto has just taken the lead back. Or not back, they've taken the lead. It's 5-3. And Taylor sees the pitch, and he hits it back to the pitcher. He's a 3 range, a 319 for the pitcher. Is going to be a nice play. So Andriese able to field his position, and he will fire it to first to get the speedy Michael Taylor. And that'll get Boston out of this inning. But they give up the lead and give up 3 runs. And we move to the top of the 7th. It's a 5-3 ball game for Toronto. That'll close the book on Lester. He gave up 5 runs. All of them were earned. And now, guess who? Gio Gonzalez has a chance at the win, as he'll face the top of the order for the 4th time. It'll be Dexter Fowler, Jose Altuve, and Joe Panik. Will he make it that far? We'll see. This is a 3-10, and that's a strikeout for Fowler. Guess what? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikeouts in a row. Sat down from Gio Gonzalez. 8 now on the day. 5 strikeouts in a row, and I believe my memory serves me correctly. That's the first time that has happened in the entire RNL, that 5 strikeouts in a row. We've had 4 a few times, but Gio just went and got 5. And now he's got a tough test in Jose Altuve. He's gotten him the last 2 times he's faced him, but he tripled in the first inning. Here, this is a 6-3. This is not going to be a strikeout. It's going to be a fly ball to left, where Brandon Geyer, who's having a good day, is out there. Geyer is a 2-range left fielder. A 213 is going to go to his E rating, though. He's an E2, and we rolled a 5. And so Geyer is going to track it down And he's going to make a nice sliding grab on top of a great day at the plate. And so Altuve is the second out here. So it'll be Joe Panic. Joe Panic at the plate. He is scored 2 runs. He's 1 for 3. And here he is to face Gonzalez for the 4th time. And this is a 1-6. A 1-6, he draws a walk. So that snaps the string of 9, 10, 11, 12 in a row sat down by Gio Gonzalez. That snaps that streak. And now it'll be Chris Davis, the lefty, to face Gio Gonzalez. D. Scott Howard, welcome. Happy that you're here, checking in. Chris Davis, he's 1 for 2. He's through a walk. And he could do a little damage here, as that's a good call, but no, he swings and strikes out. That was foul-tipped and caught by the catcher. Look at all that black ink there. We just missed it. And that's a strikeout for Davis. And that'll be the 3rd out here in the top of the 7th. 9 strikeouts now for Gonzalez, as we have made it to the stretch. It's a 5-3 ball game. Toronto leads it here. And Mike McAllister, this is his inning where he sings to us. And what will we do here? Boston looking to keep it close. Let's see. Matt Andriese will continue here. He got Michael Taylor to top one to the pitcher himself to end the 6th. And he will continue here to face Cameron Maven. It's a 4-7, and that's going to be, or 4-9, excuse me. That one's going to be popped up to the shortstop, Jordy Mercer. And Mercer closes the glove, and there's 1 away. So Robinson Cano, he's 2 for 3 on the day, 2 singles. And he will face Matt Andriese. This is a 2-4. A 2-4 is going to be a little dribbler to short. Mercer is going to have another play to make, and he will do so. He makes a strong throw to get Robbie Cano. And there's 2 outs here, and it will be Todd Frazier. Frazier is just laboring. He is not hitting the ball right now. Actually, all season he hasn't. In fact, I'm inclined to go substitute for him because he really has not done anything. If he wasn't a good defender, I'd be more inclined to do so, because we've got a couple of options. We've got Corey Spangenberg and we've got Brett Wallace. They're both lefties that could hit, but their defense is a little suspect. So we're going to continue here with Frazier. You're lucky your defense is really good. And there's 2 outs. This is a 3-3, and that's a ballpark single chance. What are the odds that Frazier will get one here? Well, the odds on the die say it's a 1-5. But what are Frazier's odds? Not very good. And he doesn't. That's a 10. So that'll be a liner to the shortstop. Jordy Mercer was busy this inning. Made all 3 outs. He actually all 3 different ways. He caught a pop-up, caught a liner, and he made an assist over to first. But that'll do it here in the 7th. Toronto doesn't score, and so we move to the 8th. And it's a 5-3 lead, Toronto over Boston. Toronto would pull even here in the standings, at least, at a 9-6 record with a victory against Boston. I'd have to look closely at the run differentials to see where it all would all shake out, but on record, they would be the same. Gonzalez will face David Wright, Aaron Alter, and Cameron Rupp. Wright had an RBI single in the 1st. Alter had an RBI double in the 3rd. And Cameron Rupp is 0 for 3 against the lefty. Gonzalez is cruising these days, and he is going to get right as he pops it out to right field. And the right fielder, Michael Taylor, has to charge in on it, but he'll make the play. And there's one out. So Aaron Alter now. Alter is 1 for 2 as he was hit by a pitch his first trip. It's a 3-2, and he will ground out to second as Scope. He charges quick on it and fires it sidearmed over to first. Probably didn't need to throw it or charge on it that quickly, but he got it in a hurry and just threw it anyway. Cameron Rupp now is 0 for 3. And a 5-12. That's a first base X chance. Albert Pujols has already made a nice play at first today. And he'll have a chance to make another one, as that's he's a 2 range. That's a 13, so that's going to his E rating, which is a 9. And we rolled a 9, so an E9, a 9. And Pujols, he jumps on another one. And that was going down line. That was going to be extra bases, but he's able to smother it, and he will toss it to Gonzalez at first. And that is another 1-2-3 inning for Gio Gonzalez. Gonzalez showing some poise here. A slow start, but since then, since the second inning, it's 5 donuts on the scoreboard for Boston. So it'll be Pujols, Escobar, and Scope. Matt Andriese has fired 4 in a row since coming on here. And he will continue to face Pujols, Ibar, and Scope. If he gets in trouble, we can go to Bo Schultz or Chaz Rowe out of the bullpen. But he's pitching pretty well, so we'll continue with it. This is a 6-2. That is going to be fly ball out to left field. Cole Rasmus, and he will make the catch. 1 away. Eric Ibar, he has doubled and scored. He's 1 for 3. And Ibar, if his average is going to hold, he'll get a hit here. And not this time. He was surrounded by black ink there, but Andriese gets him to top the ball over to second, and Altuve will make the play. And there's 2 away. Matt Andriese has come in here and calmed things down. And now he'll face Jonathan Scope. It's a 6-2, and that's going to be a fly ball out the left. Rasmus pretty much in the same spot that he caught the ball from Pujols. And he will go 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 8th. Some good defensive positioning by the coaches for Boston. And so this will be the last chance for Boston here in the top of the 9th. Gio Gonzalez will face Rasmus, Mercer, and Fowler. Or will he? Let's take a look. The closer is Andrew Miller. And with the 2-run lead, Gio has been dealing. But would we let Gio go the full 9 after the start he had? I think he's done enough. So they're going to go get Andrew Miller. Gio comes off and getting hugs in the dugout. Gio Gonzalez's day is over. He has gone 8 innings. And after that start, he deserves a round of applause for battling back and putting on a show like he did. So Andrew Miller will come in to try and close this thing out. It is a save situation. Gonzalez went 8 innings. He gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. The last one was the one to Rasmus in the 3rd inning. 3 runs, all of them earned. He struck 9, and he walked only 2 batters. All right. So Miller will face Rasmus, maybe, Mercer, and Fowler. If we look at the bench, this is why I went to Miller, because I know that Gio's a lefty, but look at the entire bench for Boston. Valbuena, Vogt, Peterson, and Pena. 3 lefties and a switch hitter. Rasmus, he's going to have to hit. There's no doubt about it. So Rasmus will bat here. He's 1 for 3 against Andrew Miller. He will see the pitch, and he will strike out. That's a frisbee slider that just breaks outside of the zone, and he can't even swing out of it. That's 1 away. And now it'll be Jordy Mercer. Jordy Mercer, actually, we're going to pinch hit for Jordy Mercer. It'll be Brian Pena. Mercer is 0 for 3 on the day with 2 strikeouts, and the tough pitcher, Andrew Miller, might as well use the bench and go to Brian Pena as a pinch hitter. Boston trying to scratch one out here, but they got a tough matchup here against Miller. It's a 2-9, and Pena gets some wood onto it, but it's going to be a bouncer over to Ibar, and Ibar will make the play. There's 2 outs. And it'll be up to Dexter Fowler now to get this thing to Altuve and maybe to Panic and Davis. Fowler, switch hitter, he's in from the right-hand side. He's 1 for 4 on the day. 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. It's a 4-7, which is going to be a strikeout. And that will end the inning. Andrew Miller comes in and shuts down Boston's vaunted offense for Gio Gonzalez, who, after he found his release, he was excellent. Boston didn't score since the 3rd, and Toronto wins this one 5-3. Well, that was a good ball game. I hope you guys appreciated that. It was fun. It moved quickly. Toronto had a comeback victory and surprised the Boston Soul Rocks, who were cruising there at the beginning. They probably should have scored more at the end of the first inning. They had Altuve at third with 1 out. He gets gunned down at first from Pujols. The infield was in. Panic. He hit one sharply to Pujols. Pujols smartly looked up and saw that Altuve had broke from first, and he fired it home. And Cervelli made a nice tag on the play, and that gunned out Altuve. And then after that, Panic was the only one that came around to score, even though they had the bases loaded a couple of times. So some missed opportunities for Boston there in the first inning. And after that, after the 3rd, where Gio got into a little bit more trouble, and Toronto almost pulled him after that Alter double. But luckily they didn't, because after Rasmus singled in a run to make it 3-0, Gio continued and would retire the next 12 batters before walking one and then retiring every batter after that. So Boston, their bullpen has not been the greatest. This time Lester lets him down as he got a little tired in the 6th inning. Couldn't get out of the 6th, gave up a few runs, and that is all she wrote. Toronto with the victory. They moved to 9-6. The win will go to Gio Gonzalez. The loss to John Lester. And I appreciate you guys being here. Let me say my thanks before you guys get out of here. To Cubs to Bears, welcome. Thank you. SNFS, thank you. Make sure you leave a thumbs up, as SNFS says. D. Scott Howard, thanks for being here. Mike McAllister, you guys are all awesome. Ken Castro, I want a special thank you to Ken Castro being here while he's preparing to go be in the Table Plus tournament. You have my good luck, and I'll be rooting for you, Ken. Hopefully you do well out there, and go knock him down, man. Have a safe flight, and hope that you Hope you win the tournament, Ken. Good luck to you. And to the rest of you, I appreciate you being here and watching after the fact. If you liked what we did here, make sure you leave a thumbs up. Toronto liked it as they won 5-3. The next broadcast, it will not be tomorrow. I am going to be playing some D tomorrow, so I won't be on the channel. It will be, the next game will be Chicago. Surprisingly, Chicago climbed the standings, and they are at 500 right now. They are 7-7 and sit in 7th place, and they will take on league leaders and Clayton Kershaw, the Texas Diggersby. Yeah, so Chicago will pitch Carlos Carrasco against Texas and Clayton Kershaw. So that's going to be a good game, a good matchup of starters. That might be Saturday night. So look for me on Twitter, and I'll post when I'm going to play that game. It won't be tomorrow night, as I'm otherwise detained. But, well, it'll probably be Saturday night. But until then, I'll stop rambling. Have a good night, everybody. Stay warm, stay dry, and thank you for the support.